little blue top keeps turning around. Well, some of us are greedy and some of us don't care, 'cause we're fouling the water and poisoning the air. If we don't try hard to make ourselves stop, we might end the life on this little blue top. But around and around goes the little blue top, whirling and twirling with never a stop. Dappled with white and dappled with brown, the little blue top keeps turning around. One more time. And around goes the little blue top, whirling and twirling with never a stop. Dappled with white and dappled with brown, the little blue top keeps turning around. All right. Well, looks like we're finally all here. Well, now officially, I'd like to welcome you to Haddon Heights Dell for this beautiful day, and welcome to a special program that we call Circles, Starbursts, and Earthsongs. I'm Dave Orleans, and I'm going to sing some Earthsongs with you. And Mike Weibacher, he'll be up in a second. I'm going to sing one more song, and then I'm going to introduce Mike, and he's going to... Oh, I can't explain it. It's just too amazing. But I think you'll enjoy this beautiful program on a beautiful day in a beautiful park, and I hope you have some nice, beautiful lunches to join in. Did anybody bring their singing voices today? Oh, goody. Anybody have a favorite animal that they'd like to sing like today? Because we're going to do a people chorus and an animal chorus today. All those animal noises that you're not allowed to do in school, you're allowed to do them here. Okay. Well, here we go. All God's critters, you know, they've got a place in the choir. Some sing low and some sing higher. Some sing out loud on the telephone wire. And some just clap their hands, do it with me, their hands, their paws, or anything they got. Their hands, or paws, or anything they got. Okay. Think you got that? It comes pretty fast, so when you hear me say they clap their hands, or paws, or anything they got, you just do that with me. All God's critters got a place in the choir. Some sing low, some sing higher, some sing out loud on the telephone wire. Some just clap their hands or paws or anything they got now. Okay, that's pretty good for a first time. But I need everybody, including the teachers, doing this. And now, this next time we do it, I'm going to say, it's your turn to sing in your favorite animal's voice, and I want you to become the Philadelphia Zoo. Come east. Well, all God's critters got a place in the choir. Some WHYY, Earth Talk Saturday.
11 o'clock Saturday morning.
All right. Let's give a big hand to Mike Weibacher.
David, I was singing like a giraffe.
You can sing like a giraffe.
I was singing like a giraffe, like this. That's how giraffes sing. Just like that. It's nice to be. You guys hear that? No, shh, not the birds. You feel that? As you all sit here in Haddon Heights Dell, in Haddon Heights, in Camden County, in New Jersey, in the United States of America, in North America, in the northern and western hemisphere of a planet called Earth. as you sit in all those places, is the Earth just standing still like this? What is the Earth doing? Like this, right? No? Like this, right? Like this? It is rotating on its axis at speeds approaching 1,000 miles per hour. Do you guys feel that? Not only is the Earth rotating on its axis at 1,000 miles an hour, but it's also revolving around the... How long does it take to go around once? 1 year, which is equal to how many days? 365 and 1/4 days. And you are traveling in that direction at speeds approaching 6,500 miles per hour. Do you guys feel that? Not only are you rotating 1,000 miles an hour, you're revolving around the sun at 6,500 miles an hour, but our entire solar system is moving towards a star called Vega at speeds approaching 150 miles every second. You guys feel that? Not only are you rotating at 1,000 miles an hour, you're revolving around the sun at 6,500 miles an hour, our entire solar system goes around Vega at 150 miles every second. But we sit in a spiral arm of the Milky Way galaxy. And the Milky Way galaxy is revolving like this as well, and we are revolving through the Milky Way galaxy at speeds approaching 300 miles every. And do you feel that? Not only are you rotating at 1,000 miles an hour, miles an hour, our solar system goes along Vega at 100 miles every second. Also, the Milky Way galaxy like this goes 300 miles every second. But the entire universe is also expanding. And so as you sit here in Haddon Heights, in Haddon Heights, in Camden County, in New Jersey, in the United States of America, in North America, in the northern and western hemispheres of a planet called, you are rotating, revolving, doing all those things simultaneously, and do you ever feel it? And as you sit in all those places doing all those motions, there are 4 things that keep you alive. These 4 things keep me alive. They keep the single-celled amoeba alive, the giant redwood tree, and the great blue whale. The 4 life support systems of this spaceship called Earth. So this morning we are celebrating the 4 things that keep all life alive. I'm going to do the first one for you. And then David's going to got a song about it, and then we'll come back and do the second one, and we'll see how it goes. So 3 of the 4 life support systems are circles, cycles. The 4th is a starburst. That's where the name circles, starbursts, and Earthsongs comes in. So, the first life support system for all life on Earth. You can't see it most of the time. Sometimes you can see it move the trees around. Sometimes you can see it trickle the tops of ponds. Sometimes you can see it condense in front of you in cold mornings. The first need for all life on Earth is... You guys need air? What's in the air that you need? Take a nice deep breath of oxygen. Oxygen goes in, but what goes out? Exhale some carbon dioxide. Where does the oxygen go when you breathe it in? In your lungs. Then where does it go? It goes to what pumps through your heart? And when the oxygen goes into your blood, where does it go then? All over your body. I can do this because my finger muscles have oxygen, which got it from the blood, which got it from my lungs, which got it when it went like, so, this entire section of the audience right here, all of us on this side, we are going to be animals. Animals, get your arms up, please. Animals, your job is to breathe in oxygen like this. Ready? Then you have to use it all over your bodies like this. And then you have to breathe out carbon dioxide like this. To this side, like this. Carbon dioxide is coming to you guys because you are the plants. Plants, leaves up. Plants, you're going to take in their carbon dioxide like this. Ready? Then you're going to grab some sunlight like this. Hey! One voice all together, ready, and hey! Then you take water up your roots like this. And out with what? Oxygen to that side. All right, plants, 4 parts. First part in. Second part, sun. Hey! Third part, water.
Fourth part out. All right.
Here it comes, the first annual Circle, Starbursts, and Earthsongs Ballet of Air in two-part harmony.
Animals breathe in oxygen, use it all over their bodies, and send out carbon dioxide. To the plants who take it in, grab some sunlight, take water up their roots, and out with oxygen, which the animals take in, use all over their bodies, and out with carbon dioxide. In, some sun, water, and out, and faster, and faster. And now,
Slow motion, instant replay. Animals breathe it in, use it all over their bodies, out with carbon dioxide, which the plants take in, slow motion sunlight, and water up the root, and out with oxygen. Big finish now, Willie of Barishnikov, ready, in, all over your bodies, out, in, sun, water, and out. And that's the ballet of air. Woo. Congratulations. So air is a circle, a cycle. Air flows from the animals to the plants and back again. So the next time you go like this, thank the green plant for providing the oxygen that you all need to survive. Say, hey, thank you, tree! And by the way, every time you breathe, you inhale 1 quadrillion molecules. That's a 1 followed by 15 zeros. And every time you inhale, 1 million of those molecules have been breathed by every other human on this earth. Every breath you take, 1 million molecules breathed by 5.3 billion people enters your lungs. And that's the ballet of air. All right. And David's got a song. Let's hear it for David Orleans.
Well, all that precious air goes in and out and in and out. And it gets exchanged with all that precious CO2 that the plants want and need. They do a lot of other things for us. Sometimes they become good presents. Did you ever notice that everybody seems to give flowers for Mother's Day and for Valentine's Day and for birthdays? But those plants, they've been cut down and they're going to wilt and die pretty soon. They don't last very long. But somebody said, you know, if you want to show me that you really love me a lot, don't buy me cut flowers, plant a plant for me. And that'll show me that your love's going to last a lot longer than just a couple of days. So she wrote this song called, If You Love Me. If you love me, plant a rose for me. But if you think you're going to love me for a long, long time, plant an apple tree. Now help me out with this chorus. It goes like this. If you love me, if you love me, plant a rose for me. But if you think you love me for a long, long time, plant an apple tree. Can you do that with me one more time? If you love me, if you love me, plant a rose for me. But if you think you love me for a long, long time, plant an apple tree. The sun will shine, the wind will blow, the rain will fall, and the tree will grow. And whether you comes or whether you goes, I'll have an apple and I'll have a rose, lovely to bite and nice to my nose, and every juicy nibble will be a sweet reminder of the time you loved me and planted a rose for me. Take a nice deep breath. And an apple tree. Thank you, plants, for all that delicious delicious air. Thank you for that nice smell. And thank you especially for those nice, sweet apples. If you love me, if you love me, plant a rose for me. But if you think you love me for a long, long time, plant an apple tree. The sun will shine, the wind will blow, the rain will fall, and the tree will grow. And whether you come or whether you go, I'll have an apple and I'll have a rose, lovely to bite and nice to my nose, and every juicy nibble will be a sweet reminder of the time you loved me and planted a rose for me. And an apple tree. One last time on that chorus now. If you love me, if you love me, plant a rose for me. But if you think you love me for a long, long time, plant an apple tree. What'd you say? Plant an apple tree. I can't hear you. Plant an apple tree. Oh yeah.
Thank you, David. So the first life support system for all life on Earth is air. The air we all breathe. Let's see if you can guess what the second one might be. How did you? I didn't say anything. Oh. You guys need water? All plants, all animals need water? To show you how water works, we're going to make a storm. We're going to make a pour right here on our heads, right this moment. To make a rainstorm, 3 sounds. First sound, take your hands and rub them together like this. Second sound, snap your fingers like this. If you haven't yet mastered the art of snapping, take your fingers and clap. But if you know how to snap, you got it there. Third sound, everybody can do the third sound, this one. Here's how it works. We'll start the first sound right over here, and as you see me make eye contact with your section of the audience, begin making the first sound. You guys keep the first sound going. We'll start the second sound and sweep that across, and then the third sound. It'll sound like a rainstorm is coming in and pouring on our heads. Now, when the storm is here, when it's pouring, it's your chance to add lightning and thunder. Lightning is light, thunder is sound. Which comes first, light or sound? Which is faster? Light is the fastest thing we know of, so which comes first, lightning or thunder? So when this part comes around, give me a lightning bolt like this. We'll go, ready in. Now to do thunder, it's a little tougher. You have to have loose cheeks to do thunder. And then you use your hands. Here comes thunder. Watch me, then you try it. Boom! Boom! Let me see lightning! Thunder! You'll see those parts when they come round. Now the ground will be soaked, covered with water droplets. We'll see what happens to the water droplets. We'll trace them, and if it works, we'll come back to a second rainstorm. And after the second rainstorm, the clouds will part, the sun comes out from behind the clouds. The sun should strike all the millions of water droplets in the air, and guess what it makes? A rainbow. So let's watch out for a rainbow at the end of the second rainstorm. Are you ready? Quiet on the set. You have to listen to how this sounds, okay? Quiet on the set. We'll begin with big dark clouds on the horizon that begin moving in. You hear it raining from far away. Here comes the first sound. Real hard. And there's lightning! Thunder! More lightning! More thunder! One more lightning! One more thunder!
Lightning in the distance, thunder following, a little bit of lightning, a little bit of thunder. And the rain stops, and the ground is covered with droplets of water that begin to move through the soil like this. Ready? Trickle, 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 and it pops up. And all along the way, sunlight shines down, and droplets of water evaporate into the sky. Get those droplets up there? They move around in the wind, bump into the neighbors. They condense to form clouds, nice, fluffy, cumulus clouds that float out of their seats if they're so inclined. But the clouds get bigger and heavier. You see a lightning flash. You hear thunder rumble. And you know what you get? A downpour! With lightning, thunder, more lightning, more thunder, one more lightning, one more thunder. Lightning in the distance, thunder far away, a little bit of lightning, a little bit of thunder. That was thunder. And the ground is covered with water again. And the water begins to percolate down through the soil again. The water begins going through rivers, lakes, and streams again. But the sun comes out from behind the clouds. The sun's rays strike all the millions of droplets in the water. And guess what it makes? A rainbow. So sun, water, water is a circle, a cycle. Water rains down upon the land, moves through rivers, lakes, streams, the ocean evaporates up into a cloud that condenses and rains down once again. So the second need for all life on Earth is? Water. The first one was? Did you ever wonder where this water came from? Came from this pitcher. Guess where this water came from? That came from a faucet back there. How does water get to a faucet? If you trace the pipes back, where do the pipes go? Where do the pipes go? To the river. Here I am, drinking the river that moved through pipes into a faucet, into a pitcher, into a glass, and now into me. How does water get into a river? It rains. Where does rain come from? What's in the sky that makes rain? Do clouds stay in one place? What do clouds do? For extra credit and what's behind Carol Merrill and door number 2, in North America, what direction do clouds generally move? West to east. How does water get into a cloud? It evaporates. What makes water evaporate? The sun. What big body of water west of here would make those clouds up there? Which ocean? So here I am, drinking the Pacific Ocean that evaporated, formed a cloud, moved across the United States, rained down into a river, into some pipes, into a faucet, into a pitcher, into a glass, and now into me. How old is this water? 1,000,000 years? Am I the first person to drink this water? No. This water is as old as the Earth itself, some 4.5 billion years old.
I am not the first person to drink this water. I have a question for you guys. You have to lean in a little bit. I want your teachers to hear this. What happens when you drink too much water? You have to do something so important. We don't even give it a name. We give it a number. Number 1. And when you finish number 1, and you flush the toilet, where does the water go? Through some pipes, into a sewer, into the river! I am drinking what somebody here might have flushed less than 5 years ago. Anybody want some? You see, you can't really ever use water. You borrow it for short periods of time. Because water is coming off of my forehead as I sweat. Water is coming out of my mouth as I exhale. And when I drink too much of this, you know what I have to do? And when I flush that number 1, somebody else has to drink it. You see this water right here in this glass? This water right here, this side, that water is the sweat of the Indians that lived here 2,000 years ago. Same water, same water. The water on this side, this is the blood of saber-toothed cats that were alive 100,000 years ago. And the water down here on the bottom, this water is... I won't tell you, it's gross. Should I tell you? No, you don't want to know. You don't want to know. Oh, it's really horrible. You promise you won't get mad at me? Okay. The water down here, on the bottom, is the recycled number 1 of Tyrannosaurus Rex 65 million years ago! I have an assignment for you. The Philadelphia 76ers are playing basketball on television tomorrow night. Whenever Charles Barkley does a slam dunk, he will go like this. We're number 1! We're number 1! And thousands of people will start saying, we're number 1! We're number 1! I want you to think about this. 2/3 of your body is water. All of the water inside you came from somebody else before it got to you. Much of the water was somebody else's number. So when you watch a basketball game and the audience says, we're number 1, remember, they're right. You are number 1.
Oh, Michael, you're too much. Well, speaking of great bodies of water, I'd like to sing you a song about a great body of animal who swam through a great body of water once and seemed to be lost. And because he was lost, people decided to help him. I don't know if anybody reads the newspapers. Does anybody here read the newspapers? Anybody here watch the TV news? Oh, good. Well, about 1985, actually it's getting to be quite a while ago now, in 1985 in the fall, a big, huge whale made a mistake. He used to live in the Pacific Ocean, where all those clouds come from, and he made a mistake. He decided to swim up the river instead of down the river. And he went up the river, the Sacramento River, and almost made it to the state capital of Sacramento in California. He went about 70 or 80 miles up the river, and people adopted this whale. He made the news for 3 weeks straight because he was sitting there in the middle of the river, jumping out of the water, splashing, spouting, And there are people who had never seen a real live whale before who got their first chance to see him. They had traffic jams on the bridges across the river because everybody would just stop their cars, get out of their cars, and look over the side to see this big, huge whale swimming right underneath the river, right underneath the bridge, rather. And since he was a humpback whale, they gave him the name Humphrey. Humphrey the humpback whale. Now, Humphrey the humpback whale, people didn't know quite what he was doing there because whales are supposed to be in salt water. They thought that the fresh water and maybe even the water pollution in the bay might injure his skin, and they were afraid for his safety. So they tried all sorts of things to get him to go back where he belonged. But in the meantime, he taught a lot of people a lot of things about whales and gave some people a good chance to see whales for the first time. So because of that, and because he became so famous, I thought he deserved to have his own song. And so I stole a song from somebody else who was a big symbol a long time ago and still is, Smokey the Bear. But nobody seems to sing Smokey the Bear's song anymore. Now that's the one that goes, Smokey the Bear, Smokey the Bear, prowling and a-growling and a-sniffing the air. He can spot a fire before it starts to flame. That's why they called him Smokey, and that's how he got his name. Well, instead of that, I decided that since I love that song, but nobody seems to sing about Smokey the Bear anymore, I'd sing a song about Humphrey the Whale. Humphrey the Whale, Humphrey the Whale, spouting for the people and swishing his tail. Humphrey swam upriver to national acclaim, and Humphrey was a humpback, and that's how he got his name. That's the chorus, and you can help me along with that next time it comes around. When Humphrey was first spotted, he was far away from home, and the people got to wonder why he came here all alone. Was he lost or was he frightened? Well, no one knew for sure. Was he sick or was he dying? Well, we didn't have a cure. Humphrey the Whale, Humphrey the Whale, spouting for the people and swishing his tail. Humphrey swam upriver to national acclaim, and Humphrey was a humpback, and that's how he got his name. Well, the whaleologists, they studied him to learn about his ways, and they pondered on the reasons that had brought him to this place. They knew that in fresh water, that whale would surely die, so they tried to lure him back to sea with sounds of whales nearby. Humphrey the Whale, Humphrey the Whale, spouting for the people and swishing his tail. Humphrey swam upriver to national acclaim, and Humphrey was a humpback, and that's how he got his name. Well, congratulations all around, we've helped to save the whale. Our kids and all our grandkids will all listen to this tale. But wouldn't it be something if that whale turned out to be the biggest peopleologist the world's ever seen? Humphrey the Whale, Humphrey the Whale, spouting for the people and swishing his tail. Humphrey swam upriver to national acclaim, and Humphrey was a humpback, and that's how he got his name. Well, Humphrey was a humpback, and that's how he got his name. Oh, oh. Michael is back. Let's hear it for Michael.
All right, the first life support system for all life on Earth was. The second one is. And now the third circle. To show you how the third circle works, I need each teacher who's here today to send one ambassador from his or her classroom to perform on stage. One student from each classroom live on stage. Come on up and spread yourselves out along here. The third life support system. Trees are rooted in it. Earthworms tunnel through it. All the food you eat is grown in it. The third life support system is
Ah, soil. To show you how soil works, we're going to create a forest, a mighty forest, right here on this stage. You folks up here on stage, if we're a mighty forest, and you guys are all trees, how do you all begin life? How do trees begin life? Seeds. So to tell this story, you all have to first assume the seed position, like this. Now seeds, all you have to do is listen to the story and do just what the story says. Now audience, these seeds need some things to hatch. At these parts, when they come round, your job is to become the sun in the story, and 3 times you do this.
Shine, shine, shine.
Ready, Ed? Shine, shine, shine. Then you become the wind and do this. And then you become the rain and you do. You'll see those parts when they're needed. Here it comes, trees. Just listen to the story and do just what the story says. Once upon a time, not very long ago, a whole bunch of seeds lay buried in the soil near a forest. And the sun shined upon the seeds. And the seeds began to wiggle a bit. And the winds blew upon the seeds. And the seeds began to squirm just a little. And the warm rains came down on the seeds. And if you listen very hard, you'd hear the seeds make cracking sounds. And you'd see one leaf pop out of a seed, and a second leaf pop out, and the sun continues to shine. And the seeds sprout and begin to grow, and the rains continue to fall, and they grow even taller, and the wind blows, and they grow as tall as they can, reaching their little branches up to the sky. And we have a forest of saplings. Now, time begins to pass. Springtime comes to the forest, and the trees all grow their flowers. Ready? Blossom! And they grow their leaves. Spoiling! Summertime comes, and oh, the trees are hot. Ooh. It's brutal, huh, guys? Ooh. Autumn comes, the wind blows. The trees lose all their leaves, and the trees are naked. Ooh. Wintertime comes, and slow motion photography reveals this little known secret, first shown on a Nova special last year. The trees actually uproot themselves and huddle for warmth.
But then springtime returns to the forest, the sun shines brightly.
And the trees grow their flowers, blossom, and they grow their leaves. Spoiling. And the forest grows bigger and bigger. But then, some changes come to our forest. You see, one of the trees, right down over here, was knocked over by a bolt of lightning, and it fell. A tree over here was blown over in a windstorm, and it fell. Somebody wanted some firewood, and that one fell too. Bugs got this one. Minch, 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 and it died. Forest fires got 3 right over here, and they all died. They had to widen White Horse Pike, so a bulldozer came and got these 4. Boom, 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 boom. And the rest of the trees, over the course of many years, simply died of natural causes. One by one, sometime today, they began to fall. You can keep falling. There they go. And there, on the forest floor, oh, there, the dramatic conclusion of the forest. Soon to be an epic miniseries. There on the forest floor, bugs began crawling over the trees. Let's see those bugs. Mushrooms grew out of their sides. They were real fun guys. Skunks clawed in the trunks for bugs to eat. They rotted, decomposed, decayed, oozed,
they turn into new soil. So that one fine spring morning, new seeds lay buried in the new soil. New seed time, gang. And the sun shined upon the seeds. And the seeds began to wiggle a bit. The rains came down upon the seeds, and the seeds began to squirm just a little, and the warm winds caressed the seeds. And if you listen very carefully, you'd hear the seeds make cracking sound. Crack. And you'd see one leaf pop out of the tree, a seed, there we go, and a second leaf pop out. The sun continues to shine. And they grow taller still, and the sun shines some more. And they grow even taller, the rains keep falling. They grow even taller, the winds continue to blow. And the trees all grow their flowers once again, ready? Blossom! And their leaves splinter. Then the trees take a bow and say, thank you very much. Let's hear it for the trees. Thank you, trees. Thank you, trees. So soil is a cycle too. Animals and plants grow from the soil. They die, become new soil for new plants and new animals to live. And by the way, absolutely everything you eat comes to you via the soil. If you like hamburgers, hamburgers are cows, cows eat grass, grass grows in soil. If you like pizza, the crust is wheat, it grows in soil. The sauce is tomatoes, it grows in soil. And the cheese is milk, which comes from cows, which eat grass, which grow in soil. You like fish? Tuna fish eats little fish. Little fish eats bug. Bug eats algae. Algae grows from nutrients in the ocean which erode, wash away into the ocean from the soil. Absolutely, positively, everything you eat comes to you from the soil. And now let's hear it for David Orleans, the Earth Singer.
Speaking of the soil, and speaking of eating something from the soil, I'll bet that not only do you get your vegetables from the store, but maybe there's a few of you here that are going to get them from your own backyard. Anybody here going to be growing a garden, a vegetable garden this year? All right. This is the year to do it. Actually, any year is the year to do it, but more and more people, I think, are going to try and think about growing their own good veggies. Do you ever notice how vegetables that grown in your backyard taste so much better than the ones you buy in the store? Maybe it's because you have a close personal relationship with those tomato plants. Except, it seems that every time you get ready to pick one, you find out that all 12 pounds of tomatoes are ripe at the same time. So you got to give them away to your friends until they lock the doors and say, we're not home, we don't want any more tomatoes. But here's for all the gardeners in the audience. You can help me with this song. It goes, inch by inch and row by row, gonna make this garden grow. Every time you hear me singing inch by inch and row by row, you help me out with that. Inch by inch and row by row, gonna make this garden grow. All it takes is a rake and a hoe and a piece of fertile ground. Inch by inch and row by row, someone bless these seeds I sow. Someone warm them from below till the rain comes tumbling down. Pulling weeds and picking stones, we are made of dreams and bones. Feel the need to grow my own, now the time is close at hand. Grain for grain, the sun and rain find their way in nature's chain. Tune my body and my brain to the music of the land. And the chorus goes, inch by inch and row by row, gonna make this garden grow. All it takes is a rake and a hoe and a piece of fertile ground. Inch by inch and row by row, someone bless these seeds I sow. Someone warm them from below till the rain comes tumbling down. Plant your rows straight and long, temper them with prayer and song. Mother Earth will giver, loving care. There's an old crow watching hungrily from his perch in yonder tree. In my garden I've asked free as that feather deep up there. And the chorus goes, inch by inch and row by row, gonna make this garden grow. All it takes is a rake and a hoe and a piece of fertile ground. Inch by inch and row by row, someone bless these seeds I sow. Someone warm them from below till the rain comes tumbling down. One more time. Inch by inch and row by row, gonna make this garden grow. All it takes is a rake and a hoe and a piece of fertile ground. Inch by inch and row by row, someone bless these seeds I sow. Someone warm them from below till the rain comes tumbling down. Well, you know something? Those plants, then, thank you. There's one little known fact that I have. I want to do one quickie song because, you know, Mike was telling you about that little known fact about the trees uprooting themselves to keep warm in the winter. Well, I found out that something else happens late at night after all of the gardeners go to bed. And what happens is the vegetables wake up and have a dance party. Did you know that? No? Well, that's because you guys are too sleepy after working in the garden all day, raking, weeding, and watering, and hoeing, and raking, and weeding, and watering, and hoeing. You get tired. And of course, as soon as your head hits the pillow, the vegetables wake up. Well, it was late one night in the pale moonlight, and all the vegetables went on a spree. They put out a sign that says dances at night, and all the admission was free. It was peas and beans, cabbages and greens. It was the biggest sight you've ever seen. When old man Cucumber struck up that number, you ought to hear the vegetables scream. Well, a little turkey top did a backwards flop. A cabbage tried to shoot me, but she could not stop. Well, a little red pea, she shook her feet, and the watermelon died with the cockeyed feet. Yeah, little tomato, agitator, they shook the shimmy with the sweet potato, and the old man garlic dropped dead with the colic down at the barnyard dance this morning. Down at the barnyard dance. Oh, look at these stems swaying in the breeze. Well, it was late one night in the pale moonlight, and all the vegetables were on a spree. They put out a sign, said dances at night, and all the admission was free. It was peas and beans, and cabbages and greens. It was the biggest sight you've ever seen. When old man Cucumber struck up that number, you ought to hear the vegetables scream. Well, a little tiny top did a backwards flop. The cat tried to shimmy, but she could not stop. Yeah, a little red pea, she shook her feet, and the watermelon died with the cockeyed feet. Yeah, little tomato, agitator, shook the shimmy with the sweet potato, and old man garlic dropped it with the collar down at the barnyard dance this morning. Down at the barnyard dance, swing your honeydew down at the barnyard dance. Yeah. Ooh, yeah. And here he is again.
I promised you 3 circles. We got them all. We got the first circle. First circle was. Second one was. Third one was. Promise you 3 circles and then a starburst. Starburst is energy from the sun. This whole section right here. All right? You know the routine. You're going to be the sun in our story. When I point to you 3 times, you go shine, shine, shine. Just that whole first section and real loud all together and lovely. This section right here. All right, we'll go halfway up this section right here. When I point to you guys are the grasses in our story. Put your leaves up like this. 3 times you say, wave, wave, wave. 3 times and... Wave, wave, wave. Second half of that section. Everybody else back up in that section up there. Hands up like this. Nice little munchkin voices. 3 times you say munch, munch, munch. Ready and real loud and I love it. And right over here, this whole section right here. You folks put your arms up like this. When I point to you 3 times, you say moo, moo, moo. Ready and this whole section right here. When I point to you guys in this door, you guys hands up like this, karate hands. You're gonna say jump, jump, jump. Ready and so this section, what do you guys do? What do you guys do? Back there, what do you do? Right here, what do you do? And over here. And when I go like this, the entire audience, in one loud voice, say, pass the ketchup. Ready, and? So when I go like this, what do you say? Once upon a morning, just the other day, the sun rose in the east, just like the sun has done every day for billions of years. And as the sun went higher and higher in the sky, it went something like this. A lovely sun shining down on the ground below. Some grasses began to stir in the early morning breezes, looking something like this. And so the grasses grew in the sun, while the sun continued to. Well, some bugs woke up. They were hungry bugs, caterpillars, grasshoppers, crickets. They crawled to the tops of the grass stems and began nibbling on the grasses, sounding something like this. And so the bugs ate the grasses. The grasses grew in the sun, while the sun still went. Later on that morning, a farmer woke up and she went out to the barn where she keeps all her cows. And she opened the barn door and the cows took one look at the grass growing, the sunshine, and the bugs eating. The cows were so happy. The cows all said, and the cows began to go on the grasses that go, while the sun went. Towards the end of that day, the farmer picked herself out a nice big fat juicy cow. She thanked that cow for providing a living for her family, and she slaughtered the cow like this. And the cow became hamburger meat. And the hamburger meat was sent to your grocer's freezer, and somebody in your family went to the grocery store and bought that hamburger meat and took it home. Somebody else cooked it up. You sat down to eat. It was pretty good, but it wasn't quite right, and being ever so polite, you said, excuse me, would you please? And it tasted great. Now there's a moral to this story, as every story should have, and the moral goes simply something like this. Can you folks here ever say, if the farmer hadn't gone, to the cows that say, and can these cows ever say, if they hadn't gone, on the grasses that go, and can these grasses ever go? If the sun hadn't gone? So the next time you say, thank the sun that goes, for it's the sun that provides the energy to grow everything we eat, including a hamburger. And that's a story about the sun.
And it sounds like that was a chain of events. A good chain of events that led to a good meal. But some chains get broken. We call that chain that Mike was talking about a food chain. And sometimes the food chains are a little bit more complicated than that. And sometimes we only see one part of it and we say, we got to do something about that. So we do something about it. And then a couple of months later, or a couple of years later, something happens somewhere around behind us. It's like Mother Nature came and snuck up behind us and kicked us in the pants. Because we didn't realize that what we did over here made something else happen. Made something else happen over here. And something else happened over here. And something else happened over here. And then we tripped over ourselves. Well, I'd like to tell you a story about a food chain gone bad. And it was because we didn't think very well about what we did in this story. We meaning people. Come, fill up your glasses and set yourselves down. I'll tell you a story about somebody's town. It isn't too near and it's not far away, but it's not a place where I'd want to stay, because the people are stretching all over the street, because the rabbits had nothing to eat. That's an interesting chorus. The people are stretching all over the street, because the rabbits had nothing to eat. Now you may be able to sing that, but it doesn't seem to mean much right now, does it? What do rabbits have something to do with fleas and people? Well, I'd like to tell you a story. The winter came in with a cold, icy blast, killed off the flowers and killed off the grass. The rabbits were starving because of the freeze, and they started to eat all the bark off the trees. And now the people are stretching all over the street, because the rabbits had nothing to eat. So the farmer said, this sort of thing just won't do. Our trees will be dead when the rabbits get through. We'll have to poison those rabbits, it's clear, or we'll have no crops to harvest next year. And now the people are stretching all over the street, because the rabbits had nothing to eat. Help me out with that puzzling chorus next time. So they bought some poison and spread it around, and soon dead rabbits began to be found. And dogs ate the rabbits, and those farmers just said, why, we'll poison those rabbits till the last dog is dead. And now the people are stretching all over the street, because the rabbits had nothing to eat. Well, up in the sky there were meat-eating fowl. The rabbits poisoned the hawks and the owls. And thousands of field mice the hawks used to chase, why, they were multiplying all over the place. And now the people are stretching all over the street, because the rabbits had nothing to eat. Well, the fields and the meadows, they got barren and brown. The mice were still hungry, so they moved into town. The city folk took all the farmers' advice, and they all started to poison the mice. And now the people are stretching all over the street, because the rabbits had nothing to eat. Well, there were dead mice in all the apartments and flats. Cats ate the mice, and the mice killed the cats. The smell, it was awful, and I'm glad to say that I wasn't the man hired to haul them away. Now that the people are stretching all over the street, because the rabbits had nothing to eat. Well, all through the country and all through the town, there wasn't a dog or a cat to be found. The fleas asked each other, now where could we stay? They've been on the people from then till this day. That's why the people are stretching all over the street, because the rabbits had nothing to eat. Well, all you small creatures who live on the land, beware of the man with the poisonous hand. A few bales of hay might keep you alive, but he'll pay more to kill you and to let you survive. And the people are stretching all over the street, because the rabbits had nothing to eat. I said the people are stretching. Answer me back. The people are stretching all over the street. All over the street. What? All over the street. Because the rabbits had nothing to to eat.
We're gonna end up here. Got one more rap for you today. Need some help on the chorus. This whole section right here, you guys are being in the sun a lot today. Here's how it works. Okay, when I point to you, you guys do sunlight like that. Right here, and you folks, when I point to you, your answer is soil, and you stop like this. Soil! Stop that soil, right? And you folks right here, you guys say water! You guys right here, you guys say air! Out of your mouth, air! All right, so here goes the chorus. Ready? And sunlight, soil, water, air. Then you all say, about these needs all species care. Try that line. Ready? And about these needs all species care. Then we go backwards. Air, water, soil, sunlight. Everybody say, these needs keep all species right. These needs keep all species right. All right? From the top. And sunlight, soil, water, air. About these needs all species care. And air, water, soil, sunlight. These needs keep all species right. All right, I got the choruses. Okay, you guys are going to add those verses. Couple thoughts. At the air chorus, we're going to say, let's give those leaves some CO2. Well, on that point, everyone just rear your head back like this and go, let's give those leaves some CO2. All right? Now, at the end, I'm going to say, on the count of 3, make your species sound. So you can make any sound from any species you want to. And then I'm going to say, and then name that species right out loud, and just shout out that animal's name that you do. So think of an animal that you want to become, make the sound of that animal, and then shout out its name. Are you ready? From the top, 1 and 2, you know what to do. And sunlight, soil, water, air. About these needs all species care. And these needs keep all species right. Sunlight shines down energy rays, lights us up and heats our days, gives us colors and flowers and food. Without the sun, life would be no good. You know, without the sun, life would be no good. And sunlight, soil, water, air. About these needs all species care. Louder, air, water, soil, sunlight. These needs keep all species right. Soil grows everything we eat. Vegetables, fruit, ice cream, and meat. Gives home to lots of worms and bugs every day. I'm going to give soil a hug every day. I'm going to give soil a hug. In sunlight, soil, water, air. About these needs all species care. And air, water, soil, sunlight. These needs keep all species right. Yeah. Water rains down upon the land. Percolates through the soil and sand, flows into my toilet, my tub, my sink. Or life needs clean water to drink. You know, life needs clean water to drink. And sunlight, soil, water, air. About these needs all species care. And these needs keep all species air. Air flows from animals to the plants. Fresh, clean air gives life a chance. Green leaves make oxygen for you. Those same green leaves make CO2. Let's give those leaves some CO2. And from the top, and sunlight, soil, water, air. About these needs all species care. You know, air, water, soil, sunlight. These needs keep all species right. So care for what keeps you alive. Care for what helps all species survive. On the count of 3, make your species sound and name your species right out loud. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Let's hear it. And I'll say its name. From the top, and sunlight, soil, water, air. About
these needs all species, yeah, and air, water, soil, sunlight. These needs keep all species. You know, these needs keep all species. Come on, these needs keep all species. Let's help keep all them species. Thank you.
Mike Weibacher. Well, I got one more song for you before we do something special. We have some special guests this morning that I'd like to introduce in a minute. But before that, I have one job that I think is most importantly done by all these people sitting right here. And your job, if you choose to accept it, is to nag your moms and dads, your teachers, us, any big people you see, to save some trees for you when you grow up. Because, you know, sometimes all us grown-ups, we get too busy doing our regular day-to-day things. Sometimes we forget that we're the ones who have to protect the world for you guys for when you grow up. So this is a song for you to sing to all us. It's got a real easy chorus. All you have to do is say, save some trees for me, Mister. Save some trees for when we grow up. Looks like we've already got ourselves the, is this the Bigot School chorus? All right. But they're cheating, they've got the words. But that's okay, we're going to save something different in each chorus, so you just join in. I'll let you know what we're saving. I think you'll get an idea of it also. Also, in between the choruses are something called verses, and each verse has an echo back verse. You can be the other side of the Grand Canyon. Repeat after me when I sing. If I were a tree, in the middle of the woods, with the sun and the rain, I'd feel real good. I'd make some shade to cool my friends. I grow buds and seeds and leaves on the branches. Let the birds and squirrels make home, and the chances are good that I'd be happy right to the end, right to the end. Save some trees now. Save some trees for me, Mister. Save some trees for me when we grow up, when we grow up, when we grow up. If I were a fish, swimming in a stream, I'd have a lot of fun, if you know what I mean. Say hi to a frog, who's looking for a fly, but I'd hide in the weeds from that funny old muskrat. Stay away from the worms on hooks, 'cause I know that I'd rather live here in the stream till the day I die, till the day I die. Save some streams, save some streams for me, Mister. Save some streams for me when we grow up, when we grow up, when we grow up. If I were a cloud, floating in the sky, I'd have a nice time as I drift on by. I'd go to the sea to fill with rain, and then I'd rain on the city and all the people in it, and I'd clean all the dirt from the air in a minute. The sky be blue and the sun came out again. Save some air now. Save some air for me, Mister. Let's bring on Mike Weibacher again. Give Mike a hand.
Thank you. Thanks for having me today. Thanks for coming out to the park today. Thank you. Let's hear for David Orleans and the Earthsongs.
And for Mike Weibacher, the science guy. And you know something? We have a special guest today. I'll tell you what. You tell me if you know who I might be talking about. Give a hoot, don't pollute. We'll keep America looking good. Who's that? Woodsy Owl. Let's hear it for Woodsy Owl. Woodsy Owl has come all the way from the Department of Environmental Protection in Trenton to help us today to plant a tree and to give back a little bit to Mother Earth. Hi, old Woodsy. And also with Woodsy, we have somebody special from Camden County. His name is Mr. Lee Solomon, and he's a freeholder here. He's in the government in the county. And he'd like to say a few words to all of you kids. And so let's hear it for Woodsy and for freeholder Solomon.
When they said they had a special guest, I thought you were over to shout my name. I was very disappointed. No, actually, we're here, and I'm here to introduce Woodsy Owl. Woodsy and I are going to dedicate a tree. And part of the time I work in Camden County as a Camden County freeholder. I'm also a councilman here in Haddon Heights, and one of the things that we're very proud of are our parks. And parks are very important. Parks are trees and grass and all the things that keep our environment, our air, our ground, and our water safe for us. My parents, their parents, they did a lot of things that almost took some of that away from us. And it's up to you and me and our friends to bring that back. Not to throw things away, but to use things over. That's called recycling. Don't waste, don't throw away, reuse, recycle. Don't worry about the kinds of things that people before us worried about, which is how much. Worry about how do I protect, how do I keep what I have. And that's what Woodsy Owl is all about, and that's what recycling is all about. Don't pollute. And that's what planting trees and bushes and shrubs are all about. Recycle the air, recycle the environment, get that back. So without further ado, let me introduce Woodsy Owl, and we're going to have a little song and a little talk, and we're going to dedicate a tree to Mother Nature, and to the environment, and to recycling. And remember, someday when you're standing where I'm standing, you can be very proud of what you did. You gave to your friends and your classmates what somebody before you almost took away. That's air to breathe, and water to drink, and parks to play in. Thank you.
Okay. Oh, there's one thing I almost forgot to mention. We have some folks from a lot of places up there that have some good things to give away. There are two groups especially that would like to give you something neat. Camden County Department of Solid Waste has kites to fly. Some paper kites with wooden strings, the good old-fashioned kind that are all biodegradable. And there may be enough for everybody. Sounds like it's very possible. So don't push, don't shove. After our tree planting ceremony, or our tree dedication ceremony, there'll be plenty of kites for everyone. And also, that big, huge, funny-looking truck that's up there, actually, it looks pretty neat. Got a racing stripe and everything. It's from the Waste Management Corporation. They also call themselves Recycle America, because they're going to do some recycling today. If you have any drinks in cans that can be recycled, put them in some special containers, and we're going to take them away and recycle. But they also have lots of comic books, or coloring books, and some book covers also available after our
I'd like to sing a tree song in honor of our special tree. We have a tree over here that I just stuck in the hole. It's a flowering cherry tree, and it's going to be beautiful next year. I think it already finished blooming, but for this year. But next year, because its roots are now in the ground, it's going to bloom, blossom, give us a little bit of fresh air, maybe even a few cherries for the birds. But it can't do that unless it has roots going into the ground. And Woodsy knows, just like you know, that a tree can't live without its roots. My roots go down, down to the earth. My roots go down, down to the earth. My roots go down, down to the earth. My roots go down. I am a pine tree on a mountainside. I am a pine tree on a mountainside. I am a pine tree on a mountainside. My roots go down. My roots go down, down to the earth. My roots go down, down to the earth. My roots go down, down to the earth. My roots go down. Help me with that chorus. My roots go down, down to the earth. My roots go down, down to the earth. My roots go down, down to the earth. My roots go down. Now maybe if you were a cherry tree, the birds would love to eat a few of your cherries. I am a cherry, the birds love me. I am a cherry and the birds love me. I am a cherry and the birds love me. My roots go down. My roots go down, down to the earth. My roots go down, down to the earth. My roots go down, down to the earth. My roots go down. My roots go down, down to the earth. My roots go down, down to the earth. My roots go down, down to the earth. My roots go down. Now, if you were one of these big, huge beech trees that's growing right near us, look over to your left. You'll see two big trees with nice, smooth gray bark on them, except down at the bottom where people have been carving their initials. It's not such a great thing for those trees. They'd love to have nice, smooth bark. So, as you walk through the park, be careful of our trees. I am a beech tree, don't carve on me. I am a beech tree, don't carve on me. I am a beech tree, don't carve on me. My roots go down. My roots go down, down to the earth. My roots go down, down to the earth. My roots go down, down to the earth. My roots go down. And one last tree, my favorite, because it lets everybody be trees. Put your branches way up in the air and be willow trees. I am a willow swaying in the breeze. I am a willow swaying in the breeze. I am a willow swaying in the breeze. My roots go down. Real loud now. My roots go down, down to the earth. My roots go down, down to the earth. My roots go down, down to the earth. My roots go down. My roots go down. My roots go down. Oh, yeah. The trees, thanks. Trees, thank you, because you're probably giving them some good vibes for growing real strong. I'll tell you what. We're going to shovel a few shovels of earth into the hole, and I'll tell you what. When we're finished, I'd like you to give it a nice, good, deep breath. Give it some CO2 so it can help grow. Okay? All right. Maybe the dog will water it. You know something? I think it's only proper that we dedicate this tree to all of you wonderful children and your wonderful teachers who managed to get you all the way here from school. for this special day today. It may not be Earth Day, but it is after Earth Day, which is just as important. It means that we continue to think about the Earth. And today we're going to plant, we've put our flowering cherry tree in, and we've dedicated to all of the school children that are here today. So give yourselves a hand. Thank you all for coming, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of the day, and enjoy the park, and have a good night.
Thank you all. Bye-bye.
Bye now, everybody.
May I please have the attention of those students, teachers, and chaperones of the Thomas Richard School? I would ask if all of you would please just remain seated for a few minutes. The chaperones have gotten kites for each of the students.